Well, good morning. Today is Monday, February 17th, 2025. This is the Urban Hope Refuge Morning Devotions. We're here in the city of Windsor, Connecticut on a very cold, icy day with the snow that's left over from yesterday. But by God's grace, we are here and continuing our theme, God's strengthening love, God's strengthening word, sharing God's love. And today I am reading from Hosea chapter 4, verses 1 through 19 in the New Living Translation, picking up where Lady Victoria Gilbert left off on yesterday in our morning devotions extension. Our sub theme, the Lord's case against Israel, Hosea 4, verses 1 through 19 in the New Living Translation. Hear the word of the Lord, O people of Israel. The Lord has brought charges against you, saying, there is no faithfulness, no kindness, no knowledge of God in your land. You make vows and break them. You kill and steal and commit adultery. There is violence everywhere, one murder after another. This is why your land is mourning and everyone is wasting away. Even the wild animals, the birds of the sky, and the fish of the sea are disappearing. Don't point your finger at someone else and try to pass the blame. My complaint, you priest, is with you. So you will stumble in broad daylight, and your false prophets will fall with you in the night, and I will destroy Israel, your mother. My people are being destroyed because they don't know me, since you priests refuse to know me. I refuse to recognize you as my priest. Since you have forgotten the laws of your God, I will forget to bless your children. The more priests there are, the more they sin against me. They have exchanged the glory of God for the shame of idols. When the people bring their sin offerings, the priests get fed. The priests are glad when the people sin. And what the priests do, the people also do. So now I will punish both priests and people for their wicked deeds. They will eat and still be hungry. They will play the prostitute and gain nothing from it, for they have deserted the Lord to worship other gods. Wine has robbed my people of their understanding. They ask a piece of wood for advice. They think a stick can tell them the future. Longing after idols has made them foolish. They have played the prostitute, serving other gods and deserting their God. They offer sacrifices to idols on the mountaintops. They go up into the hills to burn incense in the pleasant shade of oaks, poplars, and terebinth trees. That is why your daughters turn to prostitution and your daughters in law commit adultery. But why should I punish them for their prostitution and adultery? For your men are doing the same thing, sinning with whores and shrine prostitutes. O foolish people, you refuse to understand, so you will be destroyed. Though you, Israel, are a prostitute, may Judah not be guilty of such things. Do not join the false worship at Gilgal of Bethaven, and do not take oaths there in the Lord's name. Israel is stubborn, like a stubborn heifer. So should the Lord feed her like a lamb in a lush pasture? Leave Israel alone, because she is married to idolatry. When the rulers of Israel finish their drinking, off they go to find some prostitutes. They love shame more than honor. So a mighty wind will sweep them away. Their sacrifices to idols will bring them shame. And this concludes our reading for today of Hosea chapter 4, verses 1 through 19. As I was reading and praying and preparing for this devotional today, it seems so familiar to me as compared to the society in which I live, in which we live today. So in Hosea 4, verses 1 through 19, God accuses Israel of unfaithfulness, of idolatry, and of moral corruption. Now, idolatry, as depicted in Hosea, the verses that I just read, refers to the worship of idols or other deities instead of the one true God. Oh, you see that today. It involves the act of placing anything or anyone above God in terms of reverence, devotion, and love. In this passage, it manifests itself through Israel's actions of seeking guidance from wooden objects, sacrificing on mountaintops, and indulging in rituals that dishonor God. This unfaithfulness to God, listen, and you can see that in the societies in which we live today, no matter where you are in the world, you can see that this unfaithfulness to God leads to moral corruption and eventual downfall, highlighting the severe spiritual and social consequences of idolatry. Then he spoke of moral corruption. As it is seen in this text of Hosea, it refers to the decrease of ethical and spiritual values within society. It involves actions and behaviors that stray from moral principles and, yes, divine commandments, leading to societal decay. In this passage, you will see moral corruption is exemplified by Israel's idolatry. their reliance on deviation and their lack of truth and mercy. And I know that those of us here, well, around the world, not just in America, around the world, that you can see the corruption that takes away truth. There is, you are able to see the effects where there is a lack of truth and a lack of mercy. You read the newspaper, you listen to the news commentators, you don't know what is real, what is unreal, what is true, what is not true. You see people in photographs at events that never attended. This is the moral corruption of which Hosea speaks. The moral decay not only affects individuals, but it also permeates the entire community, resulting in social decline, violence, and a general decline in moral standards. You're experiencing things just as Israel did that seem so unreal and unfamiliar to us as a society. And it is, and with Hosea's prophecy, it was the unfaithfulness of the people to God, and it was manifested through their sacrifices, and their pursuit of shameful rituals. Oh, there are a lot of shameful rituals even in our society today, and it underscores profound consequences of abandoning moral integrity. Ask my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old, what is integrity? And they will tell you integrity is doing what's right even when nobody is watching. So this chapter is divided into 3 parts. First, there is a call to hear God's charges. Hosea calls on the people to listen to God's charges against Israel. It was no secret. It was not private. It was not given to the priests, but it was given to all of God's people. Then the second part, there is an indictment of Israel. Hosea lists the sins of Israel, and they included idolatry, divination, and a lack of truth and mercy. There it is again. The indictment is a formal accusation that someone has committed a crime, and the indictment informs the accused person of the charges against them. And that is exactly what God had Hosea to do in this prophecy. My time is almost up. Oh my gosh, I have so much that I wanted to share. Then he gives a warning as the third part, and Hosea warns that Israel and its priests will face consequences for their actions. And listen, so will we today. So God indicts the Israelites for their sin and lack of knowledge. The passage is written in the style of a legal indictment, with God as the plaintiff and the Israelites as the defendants. Now, God is bringing a lawsuit against the Israelites. They are charged with sins of omission and sins of commission. Omission sins are the things that you just don't do. You know that they should be done, and you just don't do them. Commission is knowing that you're doing it, but you decide to do it anyway. So the Israelites are now charged with all of these sins against God. The Bible says, as I close, the people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And this is a profound statement in the Bible, in the book of Hosea, and it underscores the devastating consequences that befall a community when it neglects the wisdom and guidelines provided by God. Gee, I really wish I could go further, but this is as far as I can go. But I hope that you were able to see a reflection of the society in which you're living right now, as it was prophesied to Hosea to bring to the Israelites for their disobedience, their leadership, the priest not leading. My. This is an application for us in our relationship with God even today. Now, I will not be before you for a few weeks, and I am requesting your prayer as on Friday I will be going into surgery. But listen, I'm not fretting because God's in charge. I'm just asking you to lift me up in prayer that I'll remember every single day what I just said, that God's in charge throughout this process and recovery. Listen, together, pray your way through the day. Walk with the King and be a blessing.